What's up, Buttercups? My name is Shane, and today I'm particularly excited because I have a story time video for you guys. Quick side note, if you hear Elmo in the background, my daughter's with me, and it was the only way I could distract her so I could actually film this video, so I hope you can't hear it too much, especially if I have music in the background of this video, but just a side note in case you hear it. So I don't normally film story times because honestly nothing really happens to me very often that's worth sharing, but something happened to me probably about 3 or 4 days now, and at first I was kind of afraid to talk about it because I'm like, well, okay, let me just tell you the story and you'll see why I was kind of like, should I talk about it or not? So my daughter had received a Walmart gift card for Christmas from someone. At this point, I don't remember who it was from, but whenever she gets gift cards specifically to her for her birthday or for Christmas or whatever, I always make sure that it's actually spent on her. So I'll either buy her a toy with it or clothes with it or whatever. So we had gone to Walmart because I had said gift card, and I'm like, all right, let's go get you some toys. So we had gone over to the toy section, which in my Walmart it's located in the back, and we were just kind of browsing, and I picked out this like baggie of food toys. I had shown it in a vlog a while back, but I never mentioned this story because I wanted to do a story time on it. So I had gotten her a toy, and I'm like, you know what, we're already out, like at this point I'm like, I don't have any more money to spend, but I just kind of wanted to browse. So we made our way from the toy section over to the food section, and within the food section there's an alcohol section. So I'm like, all right, like I'm just gonna browse and see if anything catches my eye, and I'll come back later and get it because I didn't have my ID and I didn't have any extra cash on me. So as I'm browsing, I see this kid. He's probably about my age. I didn't really get a good look at him at that moment, but he seemed to be browsing the aisles as well, and it's not uncommon for people to be browsing similar aisles as you, so it didn't spark anything. I was just kind of like, all right, there's another customer right where I am. So anyway, so I finished browsing and I had picked something out. I kept it in my mind. I'm like, I'm going to go back and get that, which I never did, but I still want to. So anyways, we kept walking and I was like, all right, well, we're in the food section. Let me just go up and down the aisles and see if there's anything that catches my eye, maybe something that I've missed. And, again, I might want to come back and get maybe as like a munchie type of thing or whatever. So I'm going up and down the aisles, just looking at, what they have, just looking up for things that I have never seen before. And I see this kid again, and he just happens to, he kind of, like the aisles, they have the aisles, but then they have the two main aisles that are like parallel to one another on either side of aisles. Does that make sense? Anyways, I see the kid walk past like the aisle that I was in, and again, it didn't. We were near the food section. I'm like, okay, like he's just food shopping, he's just browsing, whatever. So then we go over to, we finally finished the food section, and now I'm walking away from it. Now I'm walking toward electronics. I want to look at their cameras, the cameras that Walmart had, and he finally, the same kid, as I'm walking to the cameras, he comes up to me and he's like, you look really familiar. I'm like, maybe. I said, we look about the same age. Maybe we went to high school together. And he's like, da-da-da, high school. I'm like, yeah. I said, I graduated 2011. He's like, yeah, me too. Yeah, okay. And he's like, how was your New Year's? So now it's kind of small talk. And I'm never rude, and I'm never like, okay, I don't want to talk to you. So I was like, yeah, my New Year's was good. It was crazy. Most of you know that I had gone to that, I don't even want to call it a party because it wasn't by any means a house party. It was more like an event. It was really, really classy, but I did get drunk. And I was like, yeah, it was crazy. I said, how was yours? He's like, yeah, I had a party, and he's like, my friends didn't want to come over, and then they did want to come over, and he's listing off all the alcohol that he had, and I'm like, cool, like it sounds like, you had a good New Year's. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, I said, it was really nice to meet you, but I do have to get going. I said, I have a little more browsing to do, and my daughter might not stay quiet for long, which is true, you know, like infants are unreliable. You don't know when they're gonna start flipping out or not. So he was just like, okay. And as I'm walking away, he's like, you're gorgeous, by the way. I'm like, oh, thanks. I'm like, thank you very much. You know, I was very sincere about my thank you. So anyways, I browsed the cameras, don't really see him again. Near the cameras then was the like game station stuff, the Xbox, the PC, the PS4 games. Just looking at there, seeing what kind of games are out. I don't know if everybody knows this, but I am a gamer. I absolutely love video games. I'm a PC gamer, but I love games like that. So I was just seeing what they had out, and again, I see him walk by that aisle. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I have seen him now probably about 4 times. And so now he's approached me and, you know, shown interest. I'm like, this can't be a coincidence anymore. But I said, you know what, he's not bothering me. I'm just gonna ignore it and keep going on with my browsing. So that's exactly what I do. So now I go over to the beauty section, the makeup section, and I'm browsing, you know, seeing what's out there, and I see him walk past the aisle again, and I'm like, okay. I'm very, unfortunately, I'm very naive, and but at this point, I knew, like, all right, something is up. Like, he's kind of following me at this point. I said, there's no coincidence that he was at the alcohol section, and then the electronics section, and then the gaming section, and then the makeup section, like, all while I'm there. You know what I mean? It was just very weird. So after I saw him at the makeup section, I'm like, okay, there's no reason for him to be over here. At this point, I know that he is following me. So whenever stuff like that happens, especially if I'm with my daughter, it makes me very, very uncomfortable because I watch a lot of CSI programs and a lot of forensic file programs. So I'm very like, you're a serial killer. Like, get away from me. I know how to escape you. Like, I get very, very nervous, but I probably watch way too much of it. That's why. But I was like, all right, I am just going to the checkout. Like, I don't even care to browse anymore. I just want to get out of here. I am heading to the checkout. I'm heading to a self-checkout because I only had 1 or 2 items with her. And he is coming. So I'm walking this way, and he's walking this way, and I don't even see him coming. I wasn't paying attention. But he stops me, and I'm like, hi. And he doesn't say a word, nothing. He just hands me a piece of paper and walks away. So I look at the piece of paper, and it's his number, and I'm like, like, I didn't even have a split second to be like, I'm sorry, I'm married. But at the same time, I didn't want to embarrass him, so I just pocketed the number, and I'm like, I will do something with it later. And I checked out. I was trying to check out as fast as I possibly could because I'm like, where is this kid gonna show up next? This is the scariest part of the story, guys, or the creepiest part. So he's been following me all through Walmart. Again, the alcohol section, the food section, the electronics section, the game section, the makeup section, now the self-checkout. I'm like, where is he gonna meet me next? Like, does he know where my car is? Oh my gosh, I totally forgot one crucial detail. I'm sorry. So when he handed me that number, he said one thing, and he said, like, here you go, Shayna, or something. He said something like, here, Shayna. He said my name. That's very, very important to the story, and I'll explain why. I can't even believe I forgot that one detail. So he handed me the number. He said, here, Shayna, and walked away. So I'm like, at that moment, I was kind of like, how does he know my name? I said, okay, so he said we went to school together, but I don't remember him. I just said, like, whenever somebody comes up to me and they're like, oh, you look familiar, if they're around my age, I just assume that we went to school together. I went to college for 1.5 years too, but a little bit farther than where I live, so I don't normally run into people from college, so I always assume high school. Now, I didn't recognize him. I didn't know what his name was. I found out his name after because he had wrote his first name and then the number. I'm not gonna say his name. We'll just call him Steve. It wasn't Steve. So anyway, so he says, here, Shayna, and now I'm like, okay, he knows me, clearly. He remembers me. I don't remember him. I don't know anything about him. So I check out as fast as I can, and I'm like, all right, like, let's get to the car. I just kind of want to get out of here. Now I'm a little bit creeped out. He was following me all over the place. He knows my first name. It was just very weird. So I walk outside to Walmart, and at this point I'm kind of looking for him because I'm like, he's gonna show up somewhere. You guys, he was outside. He was outside. I was so like, are you kidding me? He must have, I don't know, he must have seen me like checking out or something and just went to the nearest exit assuming that I would go to that one, which I did. And it was so weird. And I didn't make eye contact with him. Okay, my daughter just scared the shit out of me. She was coughing so much and like not breathing, so I just like, okay, now that I'm all like flabbergasted, oh my goodness. But anyway, so he was outside and I saw him out of the corner of my eye, so I'm kind of looking for him, and then I see him over here and I'm like, oh no, like I didn't want to make eye contact. I didn't want to acknowledge that he was there, because every time I tend to do that to men, like whenever I make eye contact, it's kind of an invitation for them to come talk to me, that I've learned over the years. So if I don't want to talk to you, I will not make eye contact with you. So I just kind of eluded him. Like I just kind of was like, you know, look at the sun over there. And so I just like, I've never walked so fast in my entire life. I was pushing Ella. I'm like, let's just get to my car. I was so nervous. I don't know anything about this kid. I didn't know if he was like mentally ill. I don't even want to like you know, try to characterize him as that, but I don't know like what his mental status is. If he's gonna follow me, literally follow me around Walmart, I mean, at least that's not what I think normal people do. So I was just very nervous because, again, I had my daughter with me, so I threw her in the car and I'm like, let's get out of here as fast as I can, and I left, and that was it. I actually went on Facebook and I typed in his first name just to see if I was like friends with him, and I wasn't friends with him. Like it was very creepy. I'm like, where do I know this kid? So anyways, that is my story time of the time that I was followed in Walmart. It was really scary, and it was so creepy, and I don't want to go to Walmart alone anymore. There are already so many weird people that go to Walmart, but when you're followed by one, it's even weird. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a big thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. You can also subscribe. Why am I so tongue-tied? I'm so tongue-tied. You can also subscribe if you don't want to miss any new videos. I vlog every single day except for Fridays, where you get a special video, and every Monday you get a makeup tutorial. So until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye!